A week. Exactly 7 days. That's how long it took her to walk down another aisle, throw on another white dress like it meant something, and post about her perfect husband, like the past 8 years of our marriage were just a bad dream she shook off with a spa day and a fresh Monty. I wasn't even mad. But then I saw him. I didn't go looking. No, it was my buddy Greg who sent me the post. A screenshot of her Instagram story. He doesn't follow her, mind you, but his girlfriend does, and let's just say small town, big mouths. The caption read, "Can't believe I found my soulmate. Life finally makes sense. Ring sparkles. Hashtag perfect husband. Hashtag wife goals." Perfect. I tapped the screen, squinted, and then I laughed. I mean, really laughed. The kind of laugh that starts in your gut and shakes the bitterness loose. The kind that makes the dog tilt its head and wonder if Dad finally snapped. Because there he was, Mr. Perfect. Chat something. Could have been Brad. Or Tad. Didn't matter. What mattered was the look. The whole package. Faked and so orange, he looked like a peeled clementine with a gym membership. Hair gelled into a point like he lost a bet. Teeth so blindingly white they looked like they were stolen from a cartoon rabbit. And the suit? Tied in all the wrong places, like it had been airmailed from 2006. But the cherry on top? The caption under another picture, him holding her hand in some over-the-top dip, the Eiffel Tower in the background, like they were starring in a low-budget rom-com. He listens to me. That one got me. Listens. Sure. Probably nods like a bobblehead while she talks about yoga crystals and moon water. I could practically hear him now. "Babe, your energy is, like, so vibey today." This was the man she left me for. No. Correct that, the man she left herself for. Because this wasn't about love. It was about illusion. It was always about appearance with her. She didn't want a partner. She wanted a prop. A shiny, sculpted accessory who made her feel like she was in a Netflix special. And you know what? They deserve each other. Because while she's busy hashtagging her way through a second honeymoon with a human Ken doll, I'm building something real. Reclaiming myself, piece by piece. And watching from a distance as her perfect little life cracks under the weight of its own fakery? That's better than any revenge I could have planned. You ever notice how breakup posts on social media come with pastel backgrounds and glittery quotes about self-love and new beginnings? Yeah, hers came with a carousel of filtered selfies, a champagne glass in hand, and a caption that read, "Sometimes, the universe removes people from your life for your own good. Trust the process, trust the process." We were married for 8 years. Built a life together. Or at least I thought we did. Meanwhile, she was out here treating our marriage like a bad haircut she was finally brave enough to fix. And suddenly, I was the lesson in her journey. The lesson. Funny how her growth didn't stop her from draining our joint account a week before she served the papers. Or conveniently leaving her work laptop unlocked on the kitchen counter, bless her careless heart, where I found messages from Chad, the life coach, waxing poetic about her spirit alignment and calling her Sunshine Incarnate. Sunshine. She barely smiled when we were together unless she was looking at a mirror or a wine list. But back to Chad. I did a little digging after that laugh riot of a wedding post. Turns out Coach Chad isn't licensed for anything. Not fitness. Not therapy. Not common sense. His website was built on a free template and his testimonials were clearly written by someone whose grasp of grammar rivaled a goldfish with a concussion. His tagline? Elevate your alpha energy. You can't make this up. He charges $499 a session to teach men how to embrace dominance and manifest success through primal rituals, which apparently includes shirtless hiking and screaming into rivers. And this is who she chose as her upgrade. Me? I was working 60-hour weeks, fixing our leaking roof with my own hands, and still made time to rub her feet after those stressful afternoons of watching TikToks and pretending to work on her wellness blog. It's comical, really. Because if I'm honest, I didn't lose a wife. I lost a delusion. She wasn't loyal. She wasn't real. She was a highlight reel. All captions, no substance. And yet, there's one thing I'll never forget. Something small, but it stuck with me. A few days before she dropped the divorce papers like a UPS box, I caught her standing in the hallway, staring at our wedding photo. Just staring. No phone, no filters, no makeup either. And for a second, I swear, I saw something like guilt flicker in her eyes. But that was the last trace of the woman I married. She vanished the moment Chad walked in with his collagen smoothies and power crystals. Now, all I have are screenshots, bank records, and the strange piece of knowing she traded in a life for a lifestyle, and that choice always comes with a receipt. I didn't expect to hear anything for a while. Honeymoons are supposed to be sacred, right? Time to celebrate a new beginning. But when your new beginning is based on a lie, the cracks don't wait for the champagne to go flat. Word got back to me before they even left Bora Bora. I've got no spies, mind you. I've just got eyes everywhere. Friends who remember what loyalty looks like. People who quietly watched my ex tear through our marriage like it was a Black Friday sale and decided maybe I deserved a heads up when her new forever started slipping. Apparently, Chad's perfect husband routine didn't last long after the wedding band slipped on. One friend, Michelle, bless her, works at the airport lounge, saw the whole thing. Said my ex showed up in her bride off-duty hoodie, dragging 3 suitcases and barking at Chad for forgetting her designer travel pillow. Chad, meanwhile, was trying to flirt with the woman at the check-in desk. Apparently, he called her soulful and said her aura looked stressed. They got bumped from first class. My ex flipped out. Said something about how she manifested luxury. Chad told her the universe was testing their energy flow. I nearly dropped my coffee laughing. But it got better. Once they landed, the Instagram update slowed. I checked, not because I missed her, but because I was curious. Like watching a slow-motion train wreck through frosted glass. Her stories used to be constant. Every meal, every outfit, every fake smile in a curated pose. Now? 3 days of silence. Then a blurry post from some jungle hike with the caption, "Finding peace in the unknown herb sparkles." Translation? Things weren't peaceful. By day 4, she was back to posting. But it wasn't the honeymoon glow you'd expect. No more couple shots. No more perfect husband tags. Just solo selfies, filtered to hell, and one picture of a fruit platter with the caption, "Some people just don't appreciate the little things." Ouch. I knew that tone. That was her disappointment voice. I'd heard it 1,000 times when I brought home the wrong takeout, or forgot to compliment her nails, or committed the cardinal sin of not validating her in the exact tone and timing she demanded. What she forgot is, Chad's whole persona runs on attention. And when you put 2 narcissists in one room, someone always starts starving first. The next time I saw a picture of him, he was at a resort bar. Shirtless. Surrounded by 2 women who weren't his wife. The picture was from the resort's own promotional page. They'd been tagging guests to show off Bora Bora vibes. And there was Chad. Coach, Alpha Energy, slumped in a beach chair, sunglasses crooked, holding a drink with a little umbrella in it, and a lipstick mark on his neck. She didn't comment. But she did unfollow the resort page 2 days later. Then deleted 3 of her honeymoon posts. They say a vacation can make or break a couple. In their case, it did both. The minute they got back, it was like someone ripped the sticker off their glossy honeymoon fantasy and slapped them with a big fat, "Welcome to real life." I wasn't expecting updates. I blocked her, after all. But mutual friends? Man, they didn't just keep me in the loop, they gift-wrapped it. The first sign? She moved back into her condo. The same one she'd begged me to sell for a fresh start a year before the divorce. Too many memories, she'd said. Too much baggage. Guess who's unpacking now? Turns out Chad didn't like sharing. Not the closet space, not the spotlight, and especially not the bank account. Coach Alpha Energy had more debt than abs. Car lease, maxed out cards, and a defaulted business loan from a defunct startup called Primal Ascension, an app that taught men how to roar into their true selves. Yeah, roar. She thought she was marrying some enlightened hustler. What she got was a motivational poster with a god complex and a $600 per MO gym membership he couldn't pay off. I heard it all from Erica, one of her bridesmaids, ironically. She came by to drop off some stuff she borrowed months ago, and we ended up on the porch with 2 beers and a conversation I didn't expect. "Don't take this the wrong way," she said, but she downgraded. And I think she knows it. Erica told me the fight started before they left the island. Chad wasn't used to being challenged, especially not by someone who wanted all the attention he demanded for himself. They fought over Instagram captions, over who posted the better selfie, over who looked like the vibe. She even tried to suggest couples therapy. He told her therapy was a scam invented by beta males. Beta males. That came from a man who used the phrase moon cycle synergy during his wedding vows. But here's the kicker. A week after they got back, she called me. Blocked number. 9:42 p.m. I shouldn't have answered. But I did. Her voice was quiet, like she was trying not to cry or trying not to let me hear she was crying. "Hey, I know this is weird. I just wanted to say thank you." I didn't say anything. I didn't know her comfort. "For what?" I finally asked. She hesitated. Then, for putting up with me all those years, for trying. I didn't see it then, but I do now. I didn't respond. Just sat there, watching the steam curl from my mug like a slow exhale from the universe itself. She sighed. He's not who I thought he was. And in that moment, I realized something. She never really saw me. She only saw what I gave her. Stability, devotion, a stage to stand on. And now, the lights are off. The audience is gone. And she's left backstage with a man who thinks accountability is a form of oppression. I hope you find someone who gets it, she whispered. I already did, I said. Me. Then I hung up. No rage. No tears. No closure speech. Just the soft, satisfying sound of her voice disappearing into silence. It didn't take long for the world she built to start crumbling in on itself. Hollow walls tend to do that when you lean too hard. Chad, Alpha Energy Harrison, her perfect husband, was exposed 2 weeks after the I do's. Not by me. I'd already stepped off that stage, but by his own loud mouth and a tech-savvy intern with zero patience for fraud. The intern, bless his caffeine-fueled soul, worked at a boutique media agency where Chad had been pitching himself as a brand ambassador. Claimed to have clients across 4 continents and certifications in holistic masculine healing. Turns out, every photo on Chad's website, every testimonial, every before and after transformation was stolen. Reverse image searches lit him up like a Christmas tree. The clients, stock photo models, the quotes, pieced together from Reddit threads and motivational YouTube comments. The intern posted a thread on X, formerly Twitter, and it blew up. Fast. Memes, TikToks, even a parody account called Beta Chad that used his voice clips over SpongeBob episodes. That's when I knew the universe had a sense of humor. But what about her? She tried to pivot. Fast. The posts about him vanished. Soulmate, captions deleted. That sparkly little wedding highlight reel. Gone. Archived like an embarrassing memory. She switched back to maiden name only within the month. But here's the part that really stuck in my ribs like a warm slice of poetic justice. She tried to rebrand. Again. Life coach. Women's empowerment speaker. She started posting carousel slides full of affirmations and misquoted Rumi. One of them said, "A real queen doesn't cry over spilled tea. She brews another pot." Sure. Except this queen forgot that her followers were the same people who watched her toast to forever with a con man in white linen pants and aviators. Her credibility was shot. I heard from a mutual friend that she started reaching out to old acquaintances. Testing the waters. Soft pings. "Hey, how have you been?" messages. You know the kind. Friendly on the surface, desperate underneath. I got one too. A month and a half after the honeymoon hangover, she emailed me. Subject line, "Just checking in." She didn't apologize. Not directly. Just talked about the journey she was on, how life teaches you lessons through people, and how she hoped I was healing. Healing? I wasn't wounded anymore. I was rebuilding. Stronger. Smarter. Sharper than I'd ever been. She thought she broke me. All she did was free me. So I replied with a single line. "You always wanted a mirror more than a man. You finally got one." And I left it at that. No need to rage. No need to rant. Because revenge wasn't about destruction. It was about detachment. Letting her sit in the silence of her own echoes while I moved forward. Quiet. Focused. Unshakable. They say the past never really stays buried. My ex. She liked to pretend hers never existed. Just cropped it out, filtered it, and buried it under #blessed hashtags. But that's the thing about skeletons. They don't care about your aesthetic. Sooner or later, they rattle. Enter Amanda. Now that name hadn't been mentioned in years. Amanda used to be her best friend back in the early days. Before Chad. Before the Instagram empire. Before my ex got a taste for attention and figured loyalty was just a setting you could turn off. They were inseparable once. Until my ex slept with Amanda's boyfriend. Subtle, huh? She swore it just happened. Amanda swore with a fist to her face. That was the last time those two ever spoke. Until a mutual friend invited them both to a charity mixer 6 weeks after the honeymoon implosion. I wasn't there. But you know who was? Erica. The same friend who sat on my porch with 2 beers and 0 tolerance for BS. She called me the next day, barely able to talk through the laughter. "Dude," she said. Amanda showed up in heels and rage. The event was full of wine and polite company, but Amanda didn't come for small talk. She came loaded, with receipts. Literal screenshots of old texts, DMs, and voice notes my ex had sent during her chat era glow-up, mocking Amanda, bragging about how she always got what she wanted, and referring to Chad as her upgrade from men like you. Amanda stood up during the silent auction. Right in the middle of people bidding on spa retreats and dog massage packages, she cleared her throat and said, "Some of you may remember me as the woman she used to call a sister, just in case any of you forgot what happens to people who trust her." I brought receipts. And then she pulled out her phone and hit airdrop. Photos, screenshots, voice recordings. It was a massacre. Erica said people were whispering like it was church and someone just walked in with a bottle of whiskey and no pants on. My ex left early. Didn't even make it to the raffle. The next day, she posted a quote card. "You can't dim my light, because I am the sun." Right. Except this sun looked a whole lot like it was setting. See, I didn't need to do a thing. I just kept living, working, lifting, learning, while her world slowly chewed itself apart like a snake swallowing its own tail. What she never understood was that reputation isn't built on beauty. It's built on behavior. And hers was finally catching up to her. There's a quiet kind of justice in that. There's something poetic about watching two people who deserve each other implode under the weight of their own lies. It's like a fireworks show in reverse, starts with a bang, ends with smoke and silence. So after Amanda torched what little goodwill my ex had left, I figured the worst was behind her. That she'd limp along with Chad in their weird, crystal-charged influencer bubble. But nope. The universe was just getting warmed up. See, I always knew Chad had a too-good-to-be-true vibe. His whole life coach persona was built on buzzwords and shirtless squats, but beneath the bronzer was something darker, something my ex either didn't see or didn't want to see, because it didn't fit the story she was selling. That all changed when she opened the envelope. I wasn't there, obviously, but I heard about it, again from Erica. Apparently, it was a quiet Tuesday afternoon when a courier showed up at the condo. Not a pizza guy. Not a delivery from some vegan snack brand she was pretending to partner with. No, this one wore a suit, carried a manila envelope, said the words nobody in a fantasy marriage ever wants to hear. "You've been served." Civil litigation. Turns out Chad, coach, rise and grind, had a few clients who weren't thrilled with his services. One woman, in particular, claimed he'd charged her $3,000 for a 6-week empowerment intensive and ghosted her halfway through. Her emails bounced. Her calls were ignored. The Zoom sessions? Canceled with excuses like, "My aura's off today." So she did what most people with money and anger do. She got a lawyer. Then 2 more former clients joined her. Then 4. And when Chad's assets were reviewed, surprise, he'd listed his new wife's condo as a shared domestic workspace. You know what that means in legal speak? Liability. Suddenly, she was named in the lawsuit too. Not just as a witness, but as a potential co-conspirator. Why? Because she'd posted about Chad's programs, called herself a client-turned-wife, and even linked to his site in her bio. For a moment there, she was the face of the fraud. And just like that, her perfect husband handed her a subpoena with a side of panic attacks. She tried to spin it, of course. Posted a picture of herself at a cafe, wearing sunglasses indoors, sipping an oat milk latte with a caption like, "Some storms come to clear your path. Others just remind you who carries the umbrella with raindrops nail polish." Yeah, except this storm came with depositions. Her accounts went private within the week. Chad disappeared from social media entirely, probably hiding out somewhere with Wi-Fi and Sage bundles. And her content? Dried up. No more flat lays of overpriced skincare. No more fake deep healing journey posts.